welcome to Beyond the Ball. This week I'm joined by Conor.
How's things?
And I haven't seen you in a few weeks. You've been hiding on us, but we've brought you back out. You know, I had to get that little...
Away for it to fall down the charts, and then I'd come on and I'd throw it back.
Right, we have a good bit to get through this week. We're going to be talking about... The first thing we're going to jump into is our team of the year. So, yeah, that's going to be an interesting one. It was sent in last week, I think, by Shane, and he wanted to know our team of the year. So, I think it needed a little bit more thought than just kind of throwing something together in the last 5 minutes. So, we're going to be looking at that. We have a couple of transfers that we'll talk about, just the likes of Coutinho and Trippier being two of obviously the biggest ones. We'll talk about a bit about them and what else we might see. We're going to look at the FA Cup draw as well, and then we're going to look at the games of the week. So there's two games in particular we're going to be looking at: Man City and Chelsea, and Spurs and Arsenal. So we're going to talk a little bit about them and how they're going to go, and then there's one or two little questions. Before we jump into anything, I suppose we'll announce the guests. I'm sure everybody has already seen it on Spotify or on Instagram and Twitter. So our guests are Conor. No, but over the next kind of couple of weeks, we have a couple of people lined up to come on. So starting with next week, we have former Celtic player Paul Byrne. So he is going to be jumping on with us next week for a chat.
he played for Cashel Celtic in Crumlin.
Yeah. Paul Byrne, and there's about a million of them, but it's not the one you're thinking of. So then the week after that, we have on Tuesday Larry Mahony, who is a licensed coach, former licensed coach, with the FAI, done a lot of kind of training and coaching and stuff like that. Did you ever get coached and ever do any coaches with him?
I did a couple of coaching sessions with Larry, yeah. He was when he was at DLR Waves, the National League women's team.
All right. So we have him coming on. He has a new book coming out as well, which I'm sure he's going to tell us all about. He done a little bit of coaching with the likes of Roy Keane and stuff like that. So I know he has a few funny stories about that. So we'll be getting Larry on Tuesday, not next week, the week after. And then usually that's going to be a special week, Conor, because never before have we done this. We're going to have two podcasts in 1 week. So we have Larry coming on Tuesday, and then on the Thursday, because this man, Shane McFaul, was going over he signed for an American team. He's going out in February, so we then have to have him on the Thursday. So it's a special week that week. It's the first time.
Do I get paid double time, or what's the story for that?
I don't know. I'll have to see. You know, we'll have to put in. You might have to claim something off the goal or something. I don't know. Like claim something maybe. We're going to be talking to Shane. Shane played in 5 different leagues, 5 different countries, 3 different continents. He's been all over the world. I've been talking to him a good bit today, just chatting a little bit about he's been playing in India and Finland and America, and again, he's recently only after signing for an American team. So I'm really looking forward to chatting to him. He says he has a good few stories about Finland. When he was there, it was like minus 30 degrees. And then when he was playing in the summer in India, it was like plus 50 and 45 degrees. So, it'd be interesting to hear how that was. Then we're jumping on to, I think, is it the 1st of February, 1st or 2nd, whatever that Tuesday is. We have Gavan Holohan, who plays for Hartlepool over in England, obviously. He'll be coming on to have a chat with us. I played with Gav at Cherry Orchard. Obviously, he done a little bit better than I did. He was a bit better than me, so he's gone places, and I'm sitting in my bedroom trying to interview him.
You went places as well. You went to see.
Yeah, I went loads of places there. Went to McDonald's to get the old chin there. We'll have Gav on the next week. Then the week after that, we have nobody. And then the week after that, we have Jay Daly from the United Stand. Jay is a massive United head. The United Stand, for anyone that doesn't know, is a Manchester United podcast. They've got something like 1.2 million subscribers on their YouTube channel. Small numbers, compared to us. But Yeah, I'm gonna love to hear what he's gonna have to say
Would
about.
you just love for United to get beaten that Sunday or that Monday
Oh,
evening before
I
the
love it.
Tuesday?
I love it. I can already imagine it. Jay is kind of a no nonsense fan. Like, do you know what I mean? It is what it is. If a manager's not performing, he fucking calls it out. He was a massive Ollie out advocate, I suppose, for ages.
That's what you
And
two got on, was it?
that's why we get on so well. So we're always messaging each other. And some of the shit he used to say to me on Instagram was being fucking nuts laughing. So yeah, he's really kind of a fucking straight to the point United fan, which is great to see. So there's not many of them, you know. A lot of them kind of live off their history, you know, that type of way. But a little bit like Liverpool fans, I suppose. Right, we're going to jump into having a look at our team of the season. Sorry, I haven't done a graphic up, so I'm just going to do this. There you go. It's as simple as that.
That's the most annoying sound ever.
I know, yeah. I know, yeah.
Horrible.
Right, Connor, talk to me. I've got my team done out here. I would imagine we'll have a couple of the same players. So
it has to be.
We're going to start in goal. Who have you gone with?
I've got Aaron Ramsdale.
Oh, it's controversial. I was going to go with him as well.
You've got
Mendy.
Go with him? So
no, I don't.
The reason Ramsdale stood out to me was because of how poor Arsenal started the season and where they got to at the moment. It's not all down to him, obviously, but 9 clean sheets in his 16 or 17 games that he's played for them is astonishing. And he's not been... They're not like Ederson clean sheets where he sits there and he scratches his hole for 90 minutes and the lads are putting 6 and 7 past teams. He has made a hell of a lot of saves, some very important saves, some very good saves.
He's a very improved goalkeeper.
Oh, massively. All he needed was that chance. I think he just needed to sit on the bench for a few weeks, a few months and bide his time. And look, he took the position. He's seen him. I don't know if you saw him against Forest. Leno played in goal, and he was standing on the touchline berating Leno for some of his mistakes. Like, he just has that winner's mindset, whether he's playing or not. So
that's good.
I put a lot of Arsenal's form down to him. The important saves he made against Spurs at crucial times. The important saves he made against United to keep. Obviously, Arsenal didn't win the game, but to keep them in with a chance.
Yeah.
And then obviously the big free kick save against Brighton, I think it was, that gave Arsenal 3 points. So, yeah, so far this season, Ramsdale stepped up to it in those last few games.
Nice one. Right. Do you want to know who I've gone with? I haven't gone with Mendy, right? So, Shane, who is in the comment section there at the moment, wants us to read out his team. So we'll go through who he sent me his team. So, which I think is a farce, by the way. And I'll tell you why I think that when I'm reading your team out. So I tried not to be biased because he did say try not to be biased. So fair enough. I went with Ederson, and I think it's probably standard enough. There's not many shocks there. He has the most clean sheets, 11 clean sheets this season. So yeah, I've gone with Ederson, fairly straightforward, I think, on that one. Let me just pull up Shane's team here. You're only getting this done now, Shane, because Paddy's not on. Paddy was due to come on, but unfortunately is sick. Got sick literally just before the podcast. He was in our little lobby and all, and then he legged it and got sick. So, Shane, you can fill in for him, right? So in goal, Shane has Martinez. What do you think of that one, Connor?
It's not a bad show. I don't think he's performing the same way he did last season.
No,
but he's gone through 2 managers so far this season. Obviously less strength in the side than there was last season. A lot of injuries in the Villa side as well throughout the season. So maybe it's not down to him, but he's just not really standing out the same way. Played well against United. Obviously saved the penalty. Put Ronaldo off, got the win. But none of those kind of standout moments for me, really.
Yeah, I agree. Again, like I said, most was kind of his reputation is off last season. But look, hasn't done anything massively wrong this season, I don't think either. Right, we'll jump on to left back. So who have you gone with left back?
Left back, I've gone with... It was a toss-up. This is one of the toss-up ones, so I'm just going to go with...
This is my most controversial. Okay, right, okay.
I'm going to go Cancelo. It was between Cancelo and Maxwell Cornet. at Burnley, purely for his goals and assists. He's got like 6 goals and 4 assists, I think, so far. Obviously not great going backwards, which is why I took him out. But going with Cancelo, he's played in midfield for most of the season. He's got, as you said, a hell of a lot of clean sheets. He's been far more consistent than he has been in previous seasons when we saw him. He was a little bit hot and cold. But he made left full of zone. He made right full of zone when Kyle Walker was out injured. He just
which is why I put my right
you
full.
You put my right full.
You put a right full. But I'll tell you who I went with. Now, this is a controversial one. But he's been playing well this season. And now, although the team haven't been doing massively well, I've gone with Cucurella. I don't know if I'm saying that right, though. But Cucurella off Brighton. I think he's a smashing player. He looks way too good for that team, and I think if he plays,
is he not left wing of a 3-5-2?
No, I'm gonna call him a left back. A
wing back.
I'm gonna call him a wing back. Yes, a wing back will do. But yeah, I've gone with him. I thought that was probably one of the more controversial ones. But yeah, I'm kind of liking how you took to that. You didn't take too much offense to that one.
As I said, I was thinking of Corday as well, and I was like, that's a fucking throw out there because Burnley have been struggling, but just for that kind of go forward. But no, I can see it.
I suppose we're looking at it individually as well, like for individual positions, and I suppose you know what I mean. Like their team doesn't necessarily have to be top of the league for them to get into the team of the season, because you could have fucking the likes of Raheem Sterling, who was top of the league but hasn't really been performing that well. Maybe the last couple of games he's picked it up a bit, but for probably 80% of this season, he hasn't been great. So right back. So we obviously know I've gone with Cancelo. So I done the controversial one and went Cancelo over on the right hand side just because I wanted to fit Cucurella in. So who have you gone for right back?
That looking back on it now, I probably would have put my 2 left fulls in and played Cancelo on the right. I went with Trent Alexander-Arnold purely for his go forward. Again, nothing for going backwards. He hasn't had a great season so far, but for me, there's been no real standout rifles.
Reece James, well, for me, probably would have been one, but he didn't play enough games. He's been in and out of the team, but like the last kind of 8 to 10 games, he's really been good. But before that, he wasn't even really playing.
Yeah, Trent upped his game from the end of last season when he was struggling big time as well. He is better under pressure. He's kind of developed his end game again, which he kind of lost towards the end of last season as well. He's getting assists, he's getting crosses into the box. By saying that, looking back, I would have went Maxwell Cornet and Cancelo on the right.
Yeah. So you're looking at Shane. So Shane went for Robertson left back. I'm not having that. I'm not having it. No. Okay.
No. Not either.
He's gone Cancelo right back, which he's done the same as me, which is fair enough. Right, centre backs. Who have we got?
I'll go with the one that you'll be happy to hear. I've gone with Rudiger.
That's a given.
Because
he should be in everybody's team of the year.
Purely because he's that consistent one of the back 2 or back 3. He's had loads of different partners between Christensen and Thiago Silva and whoever else came in there, but he's been the constant. And obviously how well Chelsea started the season. He's in there for that reason. The other one, this is one of my toss-ups as well. I've gone with Roman Saiss.
Oh, interesting. Off Wolves.
They've conceded the second fewest goals all season.
Yeah.
He was playing alongside his skipper, Conor Cody, who then picked up obviously a nasty injury, and he was like the constant across the whole team.
Did he miss the first couple of games?
He missed the first 2 and then came in the third game. Someone else had picked up an injury and he came in late on, but he's played since. Right. And he's just solid. He's taken over the leadership role at the back from Conor Cody. It was between him and obviously Ruben Diaz, but because of Diaz's quality, I don't think he's not come up against much so far this season, let's just say, to actually step up and to be on that same mantle he was last year. But,
stop slating me fucking centre back.
But yeah, that's why I went with Roman Saiss. Who did you go with?
Look, Rudiger and Diaz. So, I know Diaz, it's probably a fairly obvious pick again because Man City, the defenders probably look better in the air because the game is played so high up the pitch, so he'd have very little to do. But when he has that little bit to do, he doesn't really do it wrong that often. I just think he's solid. I think him and Diaz together would be deadly. So, yeah, I can't see any reason not to put him in. What formation have you gone with? As a matter of fact, sorry, I just want to read out Shane's because Shane is sent me in. Shane went for Rudiger, which is fair enough, but he's also gone for Van Dijk. I just can't have it with Van Dijk. The start of the season, he was a little bit dodgy, made too many mistakes. I'm just not
He
having
still
it.
doesn't look like the same kind of player he was before the
No.
injury. He didn't look the end of last season. He's still not looking at it now. I don't know if he's.
No.
Well, I can't say he's still not fully fit because that was
This is over a year,
9 months ago, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I don't know if it's who's playing around him. Again, he's not had a constant partner. He had Joe Gomez, he had Matip, he had Kanate. He's not had that constant beside him. But I mean, for the flip side of it, neither has Ruben Diaz. He's played alongside. I don't know how many centre halves and Rudiger are the same. So no, I think if we're just going to look individual achievements or individual performances so far this season, I wouldn't have Van Dijk in it.
Yeah, I'd agree. So what formation did you actually play, or did you actually plot here?
Kind of a 4-3-3.
Okay. So
I've gone with three kind of central-ish midfielders.
Right, so not really deep line, just kind of more central mid.
I've got one deep line.
Right, give me your deep line.
Give me my deep one.
Give me that deep one.
Rodri.
Oh, hello.
I think he's been fucking outstanding so far this season. He's like, I don't know if Guardiola has like conditioned him for this, but he's like taken up for me. It's like the Sergio Busquets.
Yeah.
Just to let Xavi and Iniesta do their bits in midfield. He just sits there like Busquets. Looks like he's doing nothing. Or like Yaya Toure maybe would have done with the deep line role. Looks like he's doing nothing, but does like all the fucking donkey work. Yeah. So yeah, I've been really impressed with Rodri this season.
Interesting. I actually went with probably an obvious one, Declan Rice, because I think he's been quality this season. I've kind of gone with like a 4-2-3-1. No.
Okay.
4-2-3-1. Yeah.
Yeah. So who's your other deep?
See, this is the thing. I didn't really want to do this, so I don't know. Like, because I've got two strikers that it's a toss up between. So I'm nearly now thinking, do I just go 4-1-3-2 and just leave?
Just go 4-4-2, will you?
No,
just go 4-4-2.
No. I'm going 4-1-3-2, right? So I had Gallagher in there off Palace. So I've taken him out. He's dropped. He's on the bench.
Oh.
Gone. Cut him. So we're going to move a little bit more forward now. So who are your other two midfielders?
Conor Gallagher.
Oh, hello. Makes a bounce back.
Yeah, it's. I don't want to do the whole fucking thing of blowing up. Everyone's picked him in their team because he's English and he's young and he's fresh and he's hot.
We don't give a bollocks about that.
Yeah, no, we don't. But I mean, he's kind of. I'm not going to say he's done it himself, but he's kind of pulled Palace back into a little bit of form. He scored some very important goals, some very important tackles as well. Kind of doing that box to box role. Nothing more than that. He was not going to say the best of a bad bunch, but he was definitely one of the stronger midfielders so far this season. Yeah. And then the other player I have is my player of the season so far, Bernardo Silva. He's a fella who was on the chopping block. He was getting his contract terminated. He was being sold during the summer. He just said, "Do you know what?
He was 100% gone, wasn't he?
He was gone. He was gone in August. Like he was out the door. He's back to Spain, and he's just come out. He's just come out since then, and between his whatever it is, 7 or 8 goals he scored, a few assists, and like a constant in that Pep Guardiola team. He's like one of those ones you can say, okay, well, Silva's going to play. And that's like, it's not an easy thing to do. And he is like Ruben Diaz in the fact that there's an important game. They're playing Chelsea the weekend. As long as he's fit, Bernardo Silva's playing.
Yeah, exactly. Bernardo Silva, I do have him in my team as well. But I've played him out on the right because I've seen him drifting out right a lot. So I like to see him out there. So
his right leg is shorter than his left.
He just naturally makes his way over that way. So I've gone with Bernardo Silva on the right hand side of my attacking midfield tree. Just there.
One of those ones.
Yeah. So I've gone with Bernardo Silva on the right.
So who you going with in the centre then? Go on, give me your number 10 or whatever you want to call it.
I don't know if you're going to like this one. Mason Mount. What to say? I didn't know how you were going to take that one. When you look at Chelsea with and without him, it's like fucking so different. Like they're a completely different team. They're so bad without him. The work rate he puts in up there, I'm telling you, absolutely unbelievable. Chasing down the defenders is like he's running past Lukaku and he's running past fucking Havertz to do it. Like
I'd run past Lukaku.
Lukaku. No, I think Mason Mount is fucking quality. His passing ability as well is very good. His shooting, everything about him is very good. Like I just think he's been brilliant as well this year, and he's made a massive difference. You can see the difference with or without him. So for me, that was kind of one of the main things. With or without him, there's a huge difference. Like,
Where are your club though?
I know, but like, yeah. So like,
I mean,
I think I was fitting him in anyway. Like he would have been in.
That's
there,
just like saying Newcastle without Joe Linton aren't the same, but doesn't mean you put him in the best team of the season.
But like I could counter argue that and say, well, sure, if I was going to do that, sure, wouldn't I put N'Golo Kante in because best defensive midfielder in the world?
Yeah, but you just left him out now, so you can use that as your point to prove.
I have a wrote down here. Use Kante as excuse. No, but I've got a mount just purely for work rate. And I think my other attacking player will complement him. Who have you gone with? Who's your other ones?
So that's me 4, me 3, my front 3. Then I have. Ooh. So right side Mo Salah, top goal scorer.
Oh my god!
Can't really look past him. Have you left Mo Salah out of your
team? My god!
Walking.
What an idiot!
I was wondering where you're going to put him when you put Bernardo on the right. I was like, where is he going to put Salah? Maybe he's going to say he's an attacker. He's a striker. He's going to go up top on his own.
Oh, I'm going to have to make a substitution here, lads. This is so embarrassing.
I was going to say he's like the best player of the year.
I'm after moving. I'm making a tactical substitution, and I'm after moving Bernardo Silva over to the right hand side. Or the left hand side. Sorry, the left hand side.
Would you not put Bernardo with the 10, take Mount out?
Nah,
realize it's a stupid choice.
Oh, no. I can't believe I've done that. Oh no! Oh, right, go on, Salah. Who else have you got?
Yeah, so we've got Mo Salah, like arguably probably one of the best players in the world this year.
Not my opinion.
Doesn't even make the bench. Again, these two are toss-ups. Obviously, Jota is the second top goal scorer. He has played very well. I've gone with Jota on the left, like back in his older position where he would have been. It was a toss-up between him and Heung-min Son, who kind of carried Spurs early when Harry Kane didn't bother his hole. Yeah. But he's fallen off a little bit. I don't know if he's suiting Conte, if maybe he's too lazy for Conte. He's not one for tracking back when he plays out wide, so I don't know, maybe that's not suiting Conte or not. And then through the centre, I've gone with Jamie Vardy. Struggle with injury. He's back. He's got the what I saw. He has the highest shot conversion percentage in the league for the amount of goals he scored from the shots he's taken. Struggled with injury. Once he got back, like again, he's got 9 goals this season so far. You know, from 16 games. So he's back in form. He's 35 today. Happy birthday, Jamie.
Happy birthday, Jamie. I know you're watching.
But that's my front 3: Salah, Vardy, and Jota.
I'm actually fucking sick after forgetting Salah. That's actually after annoying me now. It's after fucking everything out the window.
Sorry, who did you have on the left then?
Bowen. So I'm after having to take Bowen out. Bowen has been unbelievable this season. I don't not to overlook Salah, like I was thinking to myself, like, right, come on, let's not just be so obvious here, like, and get fucking. But like,
you weren't obvious. You weren't obvious at all. You weren't obvious at all. Yeah.
No, you have to have Salah in. So I'm after taking Bowen out. I'm after putting Salah out on the right. I'm after switching Bernardo Silva to the left.
What about Bernardo? What about Bernardo? Who used to drift out right? He drifted out left.
Yeah. Like, I mean, it makes no difference because either way, it's Bernardo and Salah, so that they can alternate. But I'd rather see Salah out on the right hand side. So do you want me front 2?
Oh yeah, for front 2, yeah. Fucking hell, you've named more players. Yeah. It's like an NFL roster.
I've gone with Antonio.
Wow. Okay.
Because I think he's been quality this season, and I've gone with Dennis off Watford. Because I just think he's been brilliant.
Has been.
His goals have been deadly. His work rate has been really good, and I think he's a quality player. So Yeah, I've gone with Dennis. I mean, I could have easily went with Lukaku, who's been world class up front there, but yeah, I've gone with Dennis. I think I'm happy with that team. Like a 4-1-3-2. I can't believe I left Salah out. That is that's unforgivable. Like I'm gonna go on record and say he's the best player in the world right now, and I've left him out of my team of the season
for Jared Bowen.
This is officially the end of the podcast. All them guests will be getting text messages today saying, "Look, we're calling it a day." We know
it. They'll find out.
They'll see this and they're like, yeah, fuck that.
Yeah.
Right. So, massive boo with me. Sorry, we're gonna read out the rest of Shane's team because you did ask us to read it out. So he has
read through the whole thing.
Yeah, read through the whole thing. So Martinez in goal, Cancelo right full, Rudiger centre back with Vidic with Van Dijk. I'm having a mirror. Robertson left. So then he has Fabinho and Declan Rice. Not sure about Fabinho. Not sure about Fabinho. He has Phil Foden sitting ahead of them, which is horseshit because he's only played 12 games.
12 games this season.
So horseshit. And Water was the same. Water put him in his team. And
was Foden not playing on the left all season though? The games he has played.
He has been playing out wide a lot, yeah. So then again, he's got Antonio out on the left for some reason. He's got Salah on the right, and he's got Jota up through the centre. So
Jota, as I said, Jota has been playing through the middle, and that's where I would have put him if I didn't want to get Vardy into the team, and if the left wing wasn't so poor so far this season. There was a toss between Jota and Son, so just to get him into the team, I put him on the left, put Vardy through the middle. But yeah, he's played up top most of it.
I'm still good about that. Right, that's your team done. Right, we're moving on from that calamity. So we're gonna jump on to the FA Cup. We're gonna have a look at it here. So I have it up on my screen. So I'm just gonna share the screen just so we can see the actual draws. We're just gonna go through the actual draw itself and see if there's any decent enough games in it. There not really, is there? Like, there's nothing that you're looking at and going, "Oh, give us a bit of that."
Nothing you're rubbing your hands over. Now, as I said, Arsenal Leicester would have been if Arsenal got the finger out and beat Forest, but
yeah, fucking idiots. They actually, they didn't. Right, first game, Crystal Palace and Hartlepool United. So obviously we have Gavan in a week. So that's going to be, what date is that?
The first weekend in February, those games are.
Right, well, we have Gavan the first week of February. So it's going to be the same week. So be interesting.
First week before?
Literally before it. So we have him on, I think, the first, isn't it? So Gav's on the first, and then his next game is Crystal Palace. So that's going to be quality. We're going to fucking.
Where's that game? Sorry, is that in Selhurst?
It's in Selhurst. Yeah, it's in Selhurst. Nice. So so we'll be talking to Gav about that. Obviously, hopefully, fucking get some positivity from him, and we can give him some positivity.
I wanted. We give him a celebration. I wanted to square to Patrick Vieira in the tunnel. Pick on someone your own size. Picking on Gary Neville.
But we have to give him a celebration. So if he scores, he has to do a celebration.
Yeah, but
what can it be?
I'm not going to put loads of effort into a celebration. It's
beyond the ball. No, he won't be doing that. Next one,
he'll be scoring. That's what.
Gav's good scorer. Gav scored a lot of goals this season.
You better not getting Conor Gallagher on.
So next game is Bournemouth and Bournemouth. Bournemouth again, obviously a non-league team, so that's a big draw for them. Don't see them get through though. Huddersfield and Barnsley, two championship teams. Again, nothing to fucking write home about. Peterborough, QPR, same again. Cambridge United and Luton. League One against Championship. Again, nothing exciting there. Southampton and Coventry. Bullshit. Chelsea and Plymouth. That's Chelsea are going to hammer them and go 4-0. So, fair enough. It's a decent draw to get their day out and Stamford Bridge. But, like, if you're like a Plymouth there, or a Kidderminster even looking down a little before that. Do you want, like, look at Kidderminster's draw there against West Ham? Like, do you want that type of draw, or are you saying to yourself, fuck it, give us Plymouth and try let us get into the last 16?
No, because they're looking at that, like, you get Plymouth, say, in your Kidderminster. You don't get through anyway, but you make fuck all money off of it.
Yeah,
so you get West Ham at home and you have a chance. Like, that game will probably be on BBC because they're the ones that BBC go, that's a fucking great draw to go and put on television.
Yeah.
Like, the amount of money they'll make off of that, it's a big thing. They get to play against big players.
I'm not even sharing the screen.
Oh, are you supposed to be? Oh,
yeah, sorry. Apologies to everybody watching.
But yeah, like that, they're the ones that they look for. Like, I remember years ago when Havant and Waterlooville drew Liverpool, and Havant and Waterlooville were in fucking Conference South too, and the fucking celebrations when they got to go to Anfield, they get trounced like nothing. Like they're the thing that they obviously look for because it's the fucking big day out. You know, they don't care about the result. They know they're not going to win.
It's mad. Like, I don't know. Like what do you really want as a player? What do you really want? Do you want your day out knowing you're going out of a cup, or do you want to try get an easier draw, get to the next stage, and then hope you get your day out?
Well, I was in the FAI Senior Cup once, and we got drawn against CIE Ranch in the open draw, and I was raging that it wasn't fucking Rovers, Bows, anyone like that at Dublin Bus. Like I was snapping that it was another fucking non-league team. It's just not who you want to play. We got knocked out. They went on to play against UCD in the next round, but we didn't, you know. So don't take the chance of losing the next round. Just get the fucking big team as soon as you can.
It was the same with us actually when we went to the Milk Cup. We had advanced through the fucking I don't know even what stage it was. I think it was like whatever it was. I think it was to get into the quarterfinals anyway. So we'd made the quarterfinals. But we were waiting on the draw, so we were saying, "Oh, we'd love a decent draw." And we got drawn with Manchester United. And it was just like it was unbelievable. But like, sorry, me Google Inside is talking again. It was unbelievable. I don't know. There's someone in the fucking bedroom talking to the Google. But no, we got drawn against Manchester United, but we knew well that like they were probably going to hammer us. But like it was the big draw. It was shown on MUTV and all. Like so.
What did you want?
Yeah, so they beat us 5-1 anyway. Great day though.
You played at the half, were you?
Yeah, it was. Mate, I made an unbelievable. I'm not even joking. The best goal and clearance of my life against Makeda. Unbelievable, Jeff.
Should have made 5 other ones, though, shouldn't you?
Yeah, probably should have. Right, Chelsea, Plymouth again. Chelsea gonna fucking hammer them there. Everton, Brentford, Premier League draw. Don't know, like the way Everton are going, they'll probably get fucking knocked out of that as well.
I think this is a cup. I think this is something that Everton need to go far in to save their season.
To save Rafa.
Well, that's what I mean, basically, to save Rafa. I think they need to take the FA Cup as far as they can to keep him in a job. If they can have a bad league form but get to a cup final or get to a cup semi-final, he might survive.
Just a quick name from Shane. Did you see the video of the manager of Kidderminster Harriets in the changing room after game? No. And Paddy Coleman, Chris Wood to Newcastle release cost 25 million. We were talking about that earlier on before we came on. Absolutely scandalous money for that.
Transfer news is later, Paddy.
That's later on. We have that coming up after the FA Cup. Right, Kidderminster again. We have they got their draw against West Ham, but unfortunately it's at home. Like, surely they'll make more money at home though, will they? With like gates.
So the way the cup works is the gate receipts are split in half as opposed to the home side getting more. So it's 50-50 regardless. Usually what will happen in that is the Premier League team will say, take the gate receipts. We don't really want them. You need them more. But if you have Kidderminster holds maybe 3,000 people packed, if that's in the Olympic Stadium and it won't be full, but they get 22,000 fans into it, they get 22,000 tickets as opposed to the 3,000, whatever Kidderminster can fit. So
fair enough. Right, next one then, United and Middlesbrough. Again, Middlesbrough probably beat them. United are shit. Spurs and Brighton is the next one. I actually think this year Spurs have a really good chance of winning something with Conte there. And this cup might be fucking one of the ones they go far in. Not the other one that Chelsea are after beating them 2-0 in the first leg. Next game, Liverpool and Cardiff. How do you feel about that draw? Handy one at home.
I mean, you take it, you know.
Yeah, it's not that. I don't think
it's not handy at all, but take it. Your man's out injured for them for the next 2 months, which is good news. Your man Kiefer Moore front.
Are you really worried about it though?
I'm not worried about it now. Definitely, like if you don't have enough to beat them, like there's no point going past that stage, you know.
Yeah. Right, next one, Stoke and Wigan. That's not a bad one actually. That's a nice little draw there. Yeah. Forest and Leicester, City and Fulham. Again, Fulham will probably get beaten about 8-0 there. Wolves and Norwich. That's all, folks.
Thanks.
yeah, that's all the FA Cup draws. So again, very underwhelming. Nothing really to write home about. But sure, look, we've covered it. It's done. Right, Connor, we're going to talk about a couple of little sexy stalling stuff.
Stalling. Click.
I had well, look, I obviously don't have it. I thought I had something about transfers, but it's not there. So I'm just gonna do this again. I fucking hate that noise. That noise is so annoying. So annoying. Right, we're looking at transfers. Connor, what have we got in the locker here? Coutinho, talk to me. How are you feeling about him coming back to reunite with Stevie G?
I mean, he's not exactly been in flying form, and I presume that's the reason why he's gone to Village. You know, it's if it reignites his career, fair play to him, good move. But
can you see it? Like, can you actually see him like doing really well there? Like, do you think now he's still look? You can't doubt his quality. He's obviously a quality player and better than probably what's there. But like, do you reckon he can kind of recapture that in that team, or do you think he needs to be in a better team to actually get along? Like,
no, I think he can. He won't go as far. Look, the biggest mistake of his career was obviously leaving Liverpool in the manner he did. You know, but he has quality undoubtedly. He never relied on his pace as such, so it should go into his early 30s. You know, he should still be able to do the pass and move. He was agile. He had a good balance. He could fucking hit the ball from outside the box. You know,
yeah.
He should bring it to Villa. Whether he stands out as much as he wants to slot back into a Barcelona team in the summer, probably not. But if he does enough to get a big money move or to get some kind of move to Spurs or Arsenal or the other clubs that were looking at him, well, then that's all he's probably looking for, you know. I hope it does well.
He took a wage drop to go there, like, so that obviously does indicate that like he is nearly trying to prove something like that. Like I don't think
he also has a World Cup in 12 months' time that he probably wants to get into a Brazil side for.
It's a good point. It is a good point, like, because he knows he's gonna play there. Like, and to be honest with you, like, Gerrard probably fucking rang him and said, "Hey, look, I'll play it every fucking week. You'll get into that squad." Like, and that's probably what happened there. Like, that's probably.
We all have mates like that who are manager of a football club. They're like, "Oh, come on, just come on and get it. You don't have to train. You don't have to train. Exactly. Come on and play on a Saturday."
Yeah, exactly. But it is a great signing for Villa. I'm impressed. I'm impressed by the pull that Gerrard has had so far. There is talk about Lucas Digne. I don't know how you say that. Digne, yeah. Going there as well. That, like, he was left out of the Everton team, so it looks like he is definitely gone.
But he came to Rafa last week and said he wanted to leave. So
yeah. So
what I don't know about is Gerrard doing the dirty behind Rafa's back. That's a little bit
of a payback, is it? Did he they were on good terms though, weren't they?
Oh yeah, 100% they were on good terms. That's what I mean. Yeah. It's like they're lying in bed beside each other, but Gerrard's texting someone else, you know.
So what do you think of Dean going to? I can't say that. Going to Villa, do you think he'd be a good signing for them? I think he would actually be a very good signing for them.
Yeah, you look at Villa's full-backs, and they're obviously up in the air between target and cash and stuff. They're not exactly nailed down position. So if someone can go in there with a little bit of, what I think Villa are really missing is they're missing the leader. And if he can go in and do what he did at Villa, obviously at Everton, he was vice captain behind Seamus Coleman. He took over when Coleman was out injured for whatever that was, best part of 12 months. If he can go in and be that leader instead of the likes of Tyrone Mings, I think that'll do Villa well. Is he a world-class left full? No, not really. Would he do a job for someone like Villa? Probably. So I think that's all I can expect from him. I wouldn't be paying over the odds for him. Like, if it goes into what I've heard, like the 15, 16 million mark, you're looking and saying, is it really worth it for whatever he is?
Hold on a second. We just
I know the fucking transfer windows are gone mad, and we'll move on. We'll move on to the big New Zealander afterwards. But
oh my god! So just the fucking what came in there just from Paddy calling me dad. Chris Wood to Newcastle, release cost 25 million. People like Newcastle are after paying 25 million for Chris Wood. Like, Fuck me. That is absolutely
proven goal scorer. He's only 30. He's not old. He's younger than you, Colly.
He is. Well, I'm 31 in April. Be interested to see who's when it was birthday is. 25 million though. Fucking hell, like.
I mean, when you think about what you could have spent that on elsewhere, like obviously I know they spent nearly 30 million on Joe Linton as well. Which...
Yeah. Well, hold on, Joe Linton now, like, he's not a bad player. I think he's been riddled with injuries and stuff like that. So
the Brazilian Alan Shearer.
It's like Christian Pulisic. It's the American LeBron James of football, isn't it?
The LeBron James of football.
Fucking outrageous. I think Joe Linton's a good player, but look, 25 million. They have Callum Wilson there. They've got St. Maximin there. Like, did they really need Chris Wood? And he just gone a different
in and out of the team though, and we know
he's like, and he just gone for a different are you just gone for a different fucking form of attack here? Like, are they gonna go more direct now that they have Chris Wood? Gonna have to, aren't they?
I mean, I think they're looking at. Well, I don't know who's involved in this. Is this a person that Eddie Howe has said, you know who I want? That's who I want. And they've gone out and put money behind her. Or your man from Saudi Arabia has Googled Chris Wood's best goals and he's went, I'll buy him. Like, you know, like, I don't know. But obviously they create most of their stuff from wide. So it makes sense to have a big man in the middle. Say Maximan is creating stuff down one side and Almiron or whoever else they bring in on the right hand side is creating stuff down the other side. Yeah. It makes sense to have a big man, target man inside. So
what are we making of Trippier signing for Newcastle? I think great signing for Newcastle. I don't know what he's thinking coming from fucking Atletico Madrid, like, and he was playing.
He obviously hates it over there. That's the only thing I can see. If they're like, what are they? They're second in the league at the moment.
I don't think they're even up that high now at the moment. It's the La Liga is all over the place this season.
It's almost all over the place. All right. He must hate it over. He must hate it over there, but he must feel for it when he comes back in and his first game is against Cambridge and they kept beating.
Like, do you think he's thinking there? They're in 4th position. Do you think like he's thinking there now, like, what the fuck have I done? Like, or do you reckon he's saying, right, something to fucking, like, I can stand out in this team now?
Now, see, what appears to me is that I reckon Diego Simeone doesn't like English people.
Yeah.
And I reckon, like, seriously, I reckon he was like fringed in regards to didn't get on with the management staff, didn't really get on with maybe the other players because he struggled with Spanish or whatever it was. And it's like, if I can put myself in the window in Newcastle, he only signed a 2-year deal with them. So it's not long term.
Yeah.
Do I get my big money move then somewhere else? Do I get my move to whoever it might be, like the Spurs, to United, whoever is looking at him then afterwards? But just to get him back in the window, and I don't know if anyone else is looking at him with serious interest. And now obviously United had said they were looking at him, but whether they were looking at him said we'll pay you like 15 grand and not actually taking him seriously or not. But yeah, it's a great signing for Newcastle. I don't know about it for him. Like, if they get relegated, what happens? Like that.
Well, apparently now I did actually read a thing that anybody coming to Newcastle now has a release, a relegation release for clause in their contract now. So
because that was always
asked for it.
When Newcastle got relegated the first time. The big thing was all their big money players didn't have those clauses in their contracts because they never thought they were going to get relegated. Exactly, so this is something they've thought about since when Lee Boyer and Nobby Solano and Alan Shearer all wanted out of the club.
Yeah, so that's Shane comes in with. He's obviously on a massive wage and what's the deal pointing to the crest? Yeah, we put it up on the Instagram. He fucking completely missed the crest when he was pointed at his armpit. He did. Oh, it's fucking.
If you're taking the picture, you just go. Okay, I'll do that again.
Just like, do you know what? You're actually not pointing at the crest there. No, like Stevie Wonder fucking could have seen that. Like, right, we're gonna kind of move along here. So, what are big things kind of going on in the transfer windows? Apparently, Haaland's going to clear up his future in the next month. Man City are obviously the biggest favourites to sign him. If they get him, I'm fucking not watching football for the next 5 years anyway.
Next 5 years, he's 20.
I know, I'm hoping for an injury. like for a leg breaker. Yeah, like so yeah, look, there is a lot of other stuff that we could be looking at, but I want to move on because we're 45 minutes in. We still have a little bit to do. So, Connor, I'm gonna just jump off the whatever we were talking about there, the transfers, and we're going to just look at a few questions. So we've only got 2 in, but yeah, they're nice. Conor, we have one in from Maggot 1967. You didn't know the name, did you? Could you speak?
Another way you just came to me because you saw Irish football. So we're like,
Conor, talk. No, so we have one in from Maggot 1967. Could you speak a bit about the rise of Irish football, how big it can realistically get? So obviously, I think me and Paddy were talking about it last week. Who was it? We were talking about actually to Andy about it. Just in terms of Jack Byrne coming back to the league and kind of the gap that it now creates with the likes of him coming to Rovers, who are already kind of up thereabouts. And we were saying, like, is that a great thing for the league? Or if you're, like, say, the likes of a Bowes or something like that, you're thinking to yourself, for fuck's sake, this is a bigger gap now between us and Rovers. Like, obviously, we know Derry are kind of making a few signings as well, and they look good this season. So I think getting less than third for Derry, I was reading, would be pretty much embarrassing. But like, what do you think in terms of like the likes of Jack Byrne coming there? Like, Dan, do you think he's actually going to stay there long term, or do you think like he moved over to Cyprus, didn't really work out? Now it's handy for him to come back, play in the league for another year or two, get into the Irish team, and then make that move back across to England? Or do you think he's going to stick it out at in the Irish league and kind of make a name for himself in there as well? Like,
I don't think anyone chooses to stay in the Irish league if they don't have to. Do you know? Like, if they get, like, I'm not saying that in regards to the bad way. You can stay in the League of Ireland and become a League of Ireland legend. But if you get a Premier League or a Championship move, the money behind it just speaks for itself. You can set yourself and your family up for life, you know? Yeah. So, do I think Jack Byrne will stay in the League of Ireland? I think he will. Because I don't think a lot of English clubs will take a chance on the injuries that he's been through. Yeah. In regards to, is it worth their money basically investing in a fella who's only proven himself in one country? Obviously, he was hard done by when he went to Cyprus. McCarthy was sacked. Yeah, sacked. Yeah. He brought him over, and then Jack broke his leg. Yeah. And it obviously wasn't a good time for him, and it wasn't going to work out. Him and Mick went over, obviously, with ambitions of playing in Europe, and that was trying to be their way in. Kind of like what happened with Killian Sheridan over there at like Apoel Nicosia. He managed to get himself into Europe. He was, I think it was 4 or 5 years ago, he was the 4th top goal scorer in the Champions League. I think he was up there like Ronaldo, Messi, Lewandowski, Killian Sheridan. You know, that's what you want. Like,
was only after 2 games now, but still.
No, that was after the group stages. He scored 6 or 7 goals. I think they were off in the penalty spot there, and they were all like they were 6-0 down in all the games. But like, I think that's where the ambition was, and obviously didn't work out. But yeah, I can see him being a long stay. Derry need European football. If Derry don't get European football, as you said, it's going to be a massive failure for them. Yeah. And with Jacqueline still coming back, like, that's not going to be like Rovers is never the ceiling. It's not like if Haaland signs for City, City is the ceiling. He's not going to go from City to a bigger club somewhere else. Whereas Rovers never the ceiling where they can go somewhere else. So obviously, we look 2 days ago, Joe Kenny left Sligo and he's gone and signed for Celtic. Liam Scales left during the season and went and signed for Celtic. There is players moving across, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent for the league, but we will keep more players who aren't going to be absolutely mega in the country, which is good. You're not going to have every Tom, Dick and Harry going to England because of Brexit, which increases the quality of the league, which hopefully makes more people go to game, which increases the money in the league, which increases investment, and then we get better players as a result. So it's going to take a while, but I think the league will get better. It will get back to a level where it was in maybe the early 2000s, late 1990s, where Shelburne were beating Deportivo La Coruña in the fucking Champions League. It's heading in the right direction, I think. And Jack coming back, I don't know if you saw, but Roberto Lopez was on Sky Sports News yesterday.
I didn't see the actual interview. I was seeing clips of him on it.
Because he's away with Cape Verde at the moment, the African Cup of Nations. Did you hear about how he got? Did you hear about how he got asked to go?
No.
So
Wait, hold on now. Are you going to ruin this? Because I think Pico's going to be coming onto the podcast when he comes back.
Oh, if Pico's coming on, then I'll let Pico tell the story. But it's already.
I mean, you want to tell it? But
he did an interview with Balls Like Ye and basically said that he thought it was a spam email he got through LinkedIn. He got an email on LinkedIn. He thought someone was taking the piss out of him, but it was actually the manager for fucking Cape Verde telling him he's in the squad for the African Cup of Nations.
That's mental.
So he almost missed it, like thinking it was just fucking junk mail.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
But yeah, he was on Sky doing an interview about it. Obviously, as like one of the very few English-speaking players.
Yeah.
But like stuff like that is great for the league. If you can go far in Europe, that's the main thing. If Rovers can get through some qualifiers for the Champions League, happy days. But it's all good, regardless of who comes back in.
Yeah, it's good. It is nice to see, like we were saying. I think Paddy obviously getting the season ticket, and I think Rovers made their season tickets a bit more available, kind of financially. I think they're a lot more cheaper than they usually have been, which is good to see. It's going to attract more crowds. Like the only thing that lets the leagues down is just the standard of some of the stadiums, isn't it? Like really, like when we went to Daly Mount with to watch Chelsea and Bowes. Like it's not a massive stadium. It's quite tight, isn't it? Like underneath, like do you know what I mean? It's tight.
It's tight now because it's down to 2 stands because the other 2 are condemned.
Yeah.
But again, that's up for redevelopment, so that is going to get redeveloped in the next few years.
That's just a thing that I think is a big downfall for the Irish League. It's just the standard of the stadiums. I think if they can just upgrade the stadiums starting off, I know it's going to be it's obviously a massive financial thing, but if they can just get a bit of work done on the stadiums and just up it a little bit, I think that would be a massive thing, because some people don't want to bring their kids to that type of stadium. Whereas if like you wouldn't have a problem bringing your kid to like the Rover Stadium or that, because it's a little bit better. Like, do you know what I mean? It's not Wembley, but it's enough. It's clean. It's new. It's nice.
I remember being in Daly Park training, and we were doing like stair runs and stuff pre-season, and there's a fella in with a pellet gun, like an actual like air rifle, and he was shooting birds out of the eaves that were going to.
You were going to say he's shooting ewes.
He might as well have been, but he would come in to shoot birds out of the eaves who had nested, so they would stop shitting on people during the games.
Oh my god, that's outrageous! And there we have it. There's my point right there.
Yeah.
Right, we'll move off that one. That was a good question. Thanks for that one. Next one is Van Schmalia. I don't know if that's supposed to be something dirty or
Vashmala.
Okay. Who's better, Kane or Lukaku? Conor, while we're on this, I want to just get your opinion on what Lukaku done to Chelsea. What did you make of the whole fiasco?
He didn't do it. His agent told him to do it. It has to be. It has to be for value or for renegotiating contracts or something. Like, players are too stupid to say stuff like that.
Well, he's only after signing a 5-year deal.
Yeah, but whether he wants someone to come back in for big money and hit a release clause or something that Chelsea have, or like he's doing it. No, but that's the way agents think. Like even what you said about Haaland is going to say what way his future is going to go in the next month or the next couple of weeks. That's the same thing Eden Hazard did about where he was going to go to his next club to drive up his value. And this is what agents do to players. Players don't. Haaland didn't come out and say, "Oh, I'll make a decision in the next month." His agent told him to say that or set it up. So it's definitely an agent-driven thing to say.
Well, actually, sorry, just looking at it there with Haaland, it was actually the director of Dortmund that came out and said they're going to sit down with him in the next month. So that one's fair enough.
But it's definitely someone that said it's not working out for you at Chelsea, or you don't like it at Chelsea. So let's go back on the bridges you burned with Inter Milan, and let's make sure that they're okay, knowing that we might go back across. Yeah. So that's kind of what happened, and he fucked up the interview. I'd say he made an absolute fucking hames of it.
Absolute horseshit. I was like, what?
Horseshit.
Doing like,
and the other fella on the fucking question as well didn't help himself either by trying to get out, staying on holidays for an extra couple of weeks, and then coming back and said, "Oh no, that was always the day I was coming back."
Yeah,
lawyer.
Fucking absolute horseshit, man.
They're as bad as each other in that regard, but Who would
So
I prefer my team?
the first thing, sorry, just staying on Lukaku for a second, right? I don't know, did you watch the apology interview? Did you see that? Did you?
I didn't. I just got the transcript of it, so I read the full transcript, but I didn't actually see him say
it's very bad. So obviously, your man. I don't know if it was Lee Parker. I think it might be Chelsea TV. The interviewer. Don't know if it was Lee that done the interview anyway. But it's basically like, Romelu, you've said some things in the week that that really upset some people. What's your thoughts on that? And then it's like, yeah, well, look, I didn't really mean to say that. I'm sorry. I just want to apologize to everyone. It's just like, I was saying it to Paddy last week. It's like when you hit your little brother and your man grabs you and just like, say fucking sorry to him now. And you're brought down to your brother's face and your brother's crying. You're just like, oh, I'm sorry for him. You're like, do you know what I mean?
You don't even look at him.
No, it was just so forced, like, and it was just disgusting. I wasn't happy with it as a Chelsea fan. I don't think many came on and he scored the other day, which is grand. But
but surely, like, for me, if I'm a player in that environment, and this is just me speaking as me, I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. He could be getting fucking lambasted over it. But I don't want to see him play. I want to see him publicly docked money. I want to see him come out and say, we were docking him 4 weeks' wages and we've donated to this charity, and he's not going to play for the next 2 months and he's going to train with the under 23s or whatever. And to have that thing of like, you don't say that about my team. Whatever happens within the team should stay behind closed doors. And that's the way, especially when you're so far under contract, you don't come out like, I'd be fucking fuming if I was the club captain, if I was Thiago Silva, who's been fucking around the block. I'd be getting put a ring on the neck and saying, what the fuck on here, like, you know?
It was just like, it was just such bad timing because he was obviously out of the team and he came back into the team, scored 2 goals in 2 weeks, and then the fucking thing gets released. He was after doing it before them 2 games. So it was just timing wise, it was just absolute horseshit. It was bullshit. It was a stupid interview. I think fucking a lot of it was kind of taken out of context as well. I don't know whether he meant to say that, but like, it's just fucking, oh my God, absolutely brain dead stuff. Like, right, look, we'll go back onto the question here because we're getting fucking tight here. Who's better, Harry Kane or Lukaku? If you're looking at current form,
depends who you need, you know.
Yeah.
And again, these are one of those questions of like, who's better, Ronaldo or Messi? It depends what you're missing in your team.
Messi.
For Liverpool, Kane would fit in better than Lukaku.
Yeah.
For like the likes of Chelsea, probably for United, Lukaku would fit in better than Kane.
Yeah.
Just as someone who has Liverpool, who have 2 good wide players, lacking maybe a spear point. Kane, who stands still, scores goals, happy days. Lukaku is a bit more of a workhorse, and he'll beat players, out-muscle players, but probably less of a goal scorer in that than the likes of Kane. He's not doesn't find himself in the right position as often than someone like Lukaku.
He uses his brain a lot more, doesn't he?
Yeah, exactly. Well, Kane doesn't do a lot of running, but he just seems to always find himself in the right position to have the ball in from 7 yards, 8 yards, get in on one-on-one with a goalkeeper. So it really depends. I'd rather have Kane on my side, but depends on what a team needs, really.
Yeah. No, look, it is one of them, like a similar thing to Messi and Ronaldo, like just 2 players.
They're both narky bastards anyway, so you're not going to get better attitude out of one or the other.
They're both pricks. The only thing about like Kane is all about himself, like, you know what I mean? And you can see it this season, even like he's fucking. I don't think he wants to be there, but I honestly don't think he's going to get that fucking multi-million-dollar move that he wants.
Yeah.
I don't think he's good enough. I don't think his form hasn't carried him into it now this season. Like, who's better? Don't know really, to be honest with you. Neither of them are better. Like, they're both equally shit. Like, that's why I would describe them. Right, we're gonna move off that one, because we're just gonna talk really quickly. We're doing this new thing now where we're talking only about 1 or 2 games for the week. So we are going into the games of the week.
Is that like the Matrix screen in the background? Is it, or what's this?
Yeah, no, I don't know what the blur was all about. I didn't do that. That wasn't me. Right, we're talking about Man City and Chelsea. Conor, obviously, we know 2 giants of football at the moment. How do you see this one go? 12:30 on Saturday. Don't give me shit. Don't give me shit here. How's it gonna go?
How do I see it going, or how do I want it to go? I want Chelsea to beat City. I want Chelsea to beat City.
Yeah.
I know I'll put Chelsea further away from Liverpool, but it'll bring City back into some kind of race, and then hopefully Liverpool look into the business over City as well and try to trade them back in. I don't see it. I don't see it happening.
No.
I don't think Chelsea have the firepower to break down City. I can see City toying with them. I don't think it's going to be a whitewash by any stretch of the imagination, but I think City do have enough. Kept it back in goal because of Mendy being gone. City basically at full complement because they don't have anybody gone. Mahrez has gone to the African Cup of Nations, but I mean they could put Sterling on one side and they could put Sterling on the right instead.
They have
Phil Foden on the left.
Four other players they could put there.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I will go City. I'm gonna say 2-0, and I will go with. I'll go with Raheem Sterling.
It's heartbreaking stuff as a Chelsea fan. Like just knowing that you're coming up against the best team that's probably ever played in the Premier League. Like they have to be up there, don't they? Quality wise.
I mean, don't they? You're up there. You're talking about like Arsenal invincible level there, like, you know.
Yeah. It's heartbreaking stuff. I think Chelsea, depending on who they have available.
COVID fucking matters in that as well. So I don't know who has positives and who has false positives and who has negatives.
Chelsea are positively shit. I don't know. I just think once N'Golo Kante is there, if N'Golo Kante is there, we might be okay. If he's not there, we're fucked. I want to see Kante, and I actually want to see Kovacic playing. Kovacic has been
because he scored that goal.
No, he's unbelievable. I've been saying it for fucking months, and no one listens to me.
Why wasn't he your team of the season then?
Because he hasn't played enough. So it's just been
6-0.
Patrick Coleman, Manchester City fan, cop on 6-0 as before. Fuck off.
Must be good.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't see Chelsea winning this one, to be honest with you. I'd see it probably being 2-1 to Man City. A tight game. Again, like I said, if Kante is there with Kovacic and Chelsea have a full squad, I think they might nick a draw. Might maybe nick a draw. Oh, I don't know.
It depends depends what Kepa turns up as well.
Yeah.
Like you could have an absolute fucking stinger, or you could have a worldie. And it's like
the last couple of games he's played, he's actually done really well. Like he made some really good saves as well. So I don't know whether
but that was against Northampton or whoever.
Yeah, I know, but like at the end of the day, if a ball's going in the bottom corner, at the end of the day, if a ball's going bottom corner, you still have to fucking save it.
Yeah, but the ball's going in the bottom corner from Patrick Hammond, or if it's going in the bottom corner from Bernardo Silva, it's a little bit different.
I don't know. Look, I'm trying to help the guy. Tuchel has talked about how professional he is and how kind of he's learning from Mendy, but we'll see who shows up. So I'm going 2-1 to Man City. But I'm hoping we nick a draw. I would be very surprised if we beat them. I don't really think that's going to happen.
Come here, I'd love it. Like as I said, if you can bring it into a 3-horse race, I'd love it if you beat them. 3-horse race would be the world to me. Not like Liverpool are going to get a result anyway, missing all the stars. Yeah.
Well, he's only had Brentford at home. Handy enough.
Brentford who drew at Liverpool 3-3 in the last game.
Yeah. Right. So the other game we're looking at is Tottenham and Arsenal. Look at this fucking bullshit. Kepa, who the fuck is that? Fucking the most expensive goalkeeper ever.
And they used to make Spurs jerseys, didn't they? Kappa,
yeah, that's right. Right, Sunday at 4:30, Spurs and Arsenal. Paddy, every single episode without fail, brings up how he said Arsenal are going to be brilliant. They obviously had a shit start to the first 3 games or something like that. They Chelsea, City, and someone else, and got off to a bit of a poxy start.
They got beaten by Brighton the first game. Yeah, they lost the first 3.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like, how do you see this one going? Again, we were saying it last week. Conte has come into Spurs, got a massive reaction out of him, unbeaten in the league. I'm going to say in the league now because obviously Chelsea beat them in the cup. But he brought them from, I think, the last positioned work rated team to now the highest running team in the league. Like that's a massive turnaround, like for a team like that. How do you see this one going? This is actually going to be a good game, I think.
I think Arsenal are going to spank them.
Think so?
Yeah, I do. Like, I mean, you look at Arsenal, they've got like, was it 6 of the last 7 games they've won, and 2 games that they lost was against City. And if they didn't have some fucking idiots playing for them, they probably would have beaten City, or maybe at least got a draw out of them, you know? If Ting didn't dig up the penalty spot and then 2 minutes later kick someone, you know? Like if Granit Xhaka wasn't Granit Xhaka, they would have got something out of it, I think.
Xhaka's a fucking idiot.
Like, they dig up the penalty spot, and your man puts the penalty in the corner and then gets a yellow card for it. Like, what's digging up the penalty spot going to do?
That's absolute nonsense.
All your man does is stamp it back down and put the ball in the spot, put the ball in the corner.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Anyway, I think he's got them conditioned, and again, it depends on like what teams can play, because it's difficult to see now if Arsenal go and they're riddled with shit by the weekend, or Spurs vice versa. I don't know what's going to happen, but as things stand, I'd back Arsenal. They seem to have the winning formula at the moment. I don't know how. I don't rate the players individually, but like he's obviously got the most out. Well, like if you're to go like compare position to position just based off your own opinion of like Tomakatsu, Martinelli on the left compared to Heung-min Son, Lacazette up front compared to Harry Kane. Like you'd very rarely pick an Arsenal player out. Maybe Thomas Partey in midfield you'd pick out because he's been stand out so far.
He's not even that being that good.
Martin Odegaard has been pretty standout. Bukayo Saka has been. Smith Rowe isn't getting a game. He hasn't played in the last 4.
Yeah, but he's come on in like the last 4 games. Like I think the last game he came on in like the 85th minute and scored a goal. I know they were winning like 3-1 anyway, I think it was, but he scored like 2 goals in the last like 3 or 4 games. Sorry, I know that's happening fancy.
That wasn't Xhaka that got sent off. That was Gabriel, wasn't it?
Oh, Gabriel, yeah.
It was Gabriel. Yeah. We just presumed it was Xhaka because he's a fucking Egypt.
But did Xhaka give away the penalty?
I think Xhaka gave away the penalty. He didn't dig up the spot.
Yeah, no, that was Gabriel.
But yeah, I'm gonna back Arsenal. I'm gonna say 3-1 Arsenal, and I'm going to go with Bukayo Saka to score.
Interesting. Yeah, I think you've gone for goals in this, and I think there's going to be goals in this as well. I have to admit, I do like Arteta's tactical ability. I think like I hate him. He's a prick. He's an arrogant prick, and I fucking hate the sight of him. But he's after learning his trade from Pep Guardiola, who was obviously one of the best managers in the world. So you can't deny that he probably does have a little bit of knowledge there. As much as I hate to say it, because I actually cannot stand the chap. But Antonio Conte, for me, one of my favourite managers that Chelsea ever had. Love the passion. I love everything about him. I love that he, like, when the crowd is quiet, he fucking tries to get them going and all. I love all that shit. Like, he doesn't beat around the bush. You see him screaming at the players when he wants more from the player. Brilliant. He's a brilliant manager. And I really think Manchester United missed a trick with him by not getting him. Because I think
Ralph,
the culture. He wants a culture there. Don't we
all? Horace hamstring with lights.
That's unreal. That was unreal. I put that in the group. That's the fucking funniest video ever. Like, so yeah, I think there's going to be goals in this one, but I think it's going to be a stalemate. I think it's going to be 2-2. I think Son is going to score, and I think Lacazette is probably going to score as well. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Connor, we're 1 hour and 9 minutes in, and we're going to pretty much wrap it up and call it a day. Thanks everyone who sent in questions and stuff like that. If you are watching or listening on YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, wherever you are, make sure you subscribe, make sure you follow, hit the little bell icon, all them type of stuff, because we've loads of shit.
Colly's little bell.
Touch the bell. So we, like we said, we do have a load of guests coming on. We've Paul Byrne, Larry Mahony, Shane McFaul, Gavan Holohan, and Jay Daly. So we've got loads of guests kind of lined up. We're hoping that as we kind of knock one of the weeks out, we'll have another one to add on. Paddy, I think, has 3 guests lined up that we can add on to that. I'm hoping to get some massive names, hopefully, in the next kind of month or 2 as well.
Some massive names. Stelios Giannakopoulos.
Yeah,
it's a big
really
name.
long name. Cost you a fortune to get that on your back.
Or Hesseling.
Usually it would cost an absolute bomb to get that done in lifestyle sports. Used to
JJB.
pay by the letter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, Connor, nice for coming on this week, right?
Yeah, nice one, pal.
We will be back the same time next week, 8:30 on Tuesday, with 2 podcasts. No, 1 week. That's this next one. We're going to start that again because this isn't live. We'll be back at the same time next week on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. We'll talk to everybody then.